Hi everybody, this is Derek with Lare Garden Center, and behind the camera is Melissa.
Hey guys!
And today we're doing our houseplant series videos, which is released every Wednesday. And today's video is going to be 3 things you should do when you first bring your plant home. So we're just going to go right into it from there. And the very first thing you want to do is, let's say you bought the plant and you've brought it home. You really want to pest check and see how things are looking. So I'm going to cover a couple different plants over this part, and the first one is kind of the more difficult one, I guess I would say, or it involves extra steps, so I wanted to do that one first. This one's a succulent, and for succulents, they sometimes have problems with mealybugs, which will look like a little white dot, usually found in the crevices. Later on, we'll offer a video that will kind of go into depth more, but I just wanted to give you at least a little bit of information so you know what to look for. And again, in our later videos, we'll go more in depth into it. So when you're looking at succulents, you really want to look at the cracks in the crevices, and then also the new growth, which is up toward here. For the most part, that's where you're going to be finding that one, and that specific pest is pretty much the only one that I've come across in succulents. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would totally agree with that. Mealybugs look like a little bit of fuzzy white cotton, like almost like the tip of a Q-tip.
Yeah, I was going to say that, like you took a piece of cotton and put it on there.
Yep.
So look for things like that. Luckily, this one is clean, which is always what you want to see.
Yep.
So that's kind of succulents. The other one are more leafy tropicals. And for these ones, they have more of a longer pest list, I would say. They could still have mealybugs, but they're usually less of a problem. One is spider mites, and scale could be a problem. And what you want to look for is spots on the leaves or on the stems, new growth. This one's probably going to be really close down in the center. You really want to get in there when you're doing this part of it. And for this one, you probably want to look down into the stems in there. So that's kind of the pest checking side of it. Just make sure things are clean. And again, we all have clean plants here, so that's good to see. But you never really know. Sometimes there could be something on there. So do be aware that you really want to keep and check for things. Now I wanted to talk about repotting for a second. So a lot of times, not so much the case these days with how many times plants are being bought, but you can still run into plants that maybe have been in their container for a really long time and need to be replanted. So another thing you'll want to do is see if you need to repot it. And I just pull it out. This one actually could probably wait maybe a couple more months before it could be repotted, but this is the closest example we could find. When the roots really get tight in there like that and fill the pot and start to come out of the holes on the bottom, that's when you want to repot it. So another couple months on this one, I would let it go, but then you want to repot, and when you do repot, only do one size up container than what it currently is in. So this is a 4.5 inch measured across like this. I would only go up to maybe, you might be able to get away with a 6 inch, but ideally a 5 inch would be better, but 6 inch pots are more common. So I would be okay with going up to that size, but don't go something like this all the way up to a 10 inch, for example, which would be that's going to be too much soil for the roots, and you can run into root rot problems and easily overwatered problems if you have too large of a pot. So just make sure and see how things are. If they need to be repotted, this one again can wait a couple more months. The very last thing you want to do is, even though these plants are clean and I didn't see anything on there, I'm still going to quarantine this and put it elsewhere in the house all by itself, away from my other plant collections, just to make sure something doesn't pop up. And I would do that for 2 to 3 weeks. And then if nothing pops up, it's free to go into the rest of the population. So those are the 3 things that I always do when I'm buying my plants. Is that, you think I'm pretty good on my list there? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end it there. So thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.